Dusty, snap out of it!
Any of this look familiar?
Our constellation contact is on approach.
Yeah, but come on. Exploring space? Who does that anymore? Ain't the space we've already got complicated enough?
Welcome aboard the Starfield Report podcast.
Screw the haters. Screw the haters. That's all I got. I'll keep it PG-13 this time.
Just don't play.
It's funny because so many people now are like celebrating the game now that it's being made more widely available. Well, and of course you got the Xbox people like, oh my god, you're killing Xbox's identity, and there's go shut up.
Welcome everybody to the Starfield Report podcast. I am your host Kenny Smyson, and this is another episode. And we got Jax with us as always, and joining us once again is Solior. Yeah, I had to do a different cold open on that one because this week's been a good week.
Yeah, and we've been feeding pretty good, right?
Yep. Yeah, and it's just
out time.
Yeah. Yes, this guy in the Starfield gaming community, this guy asked, "All right, no holds barred. How do you guys really feel?" And I
saw that.
You saw it. My
rated
R response.
Facebook, yeah.
My adult response. I was like, "Yeah, F the haters, full version." I'll try to keep the show somewhat. I mean, I think we cuss sometimes, but I'm so tired of it. Like, to be fair, there's games I did not like. There's games I admittedly thought were trash. But you know what I did? I was like, not for me. I didn't keep myself in the Facebook group for fans of the community just to crap on it. Like, if you are at that point in your life, you have. I feel sad for you.
There's such a difference between not for you and bad quality, because there are certain things, like certain types of games I just can't click with, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna go and like, oh, this game's trash because it's not geared to me specifically. And like,
well, compare it to music, okay? So, like, I like heavy metal, hard rock and roll music, right? Mm-hmm. I don't care for a lot of Michael Jackson's music. But there are a ton of people out there that are going to tell me I'm wrong. I'm not saying he doesn't have good music. I'm saying I'm not a fan. So, in gaming, if you don't like racing games, don't play them. Yeah. I know, hard take. Sorry.
Well, it's like when I'm typically not a fan of like turn-based, like parrying style combat, like Expedition 33. Or something like that, which I need to play again. Like, I did enjoy it for the most part, but I could not get the parrying mechanic down. Or like Baldur's Gate. Like, I'm actually surprised at how much I loved Baldur's Gate, considering the turn-based like strategy style to that.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't mean I can't look at it and be like, okay, this game is actually, I can see why this game does as well as it does.
But you're not going to spend multiple hours, multiple days crapping on it every other day. You're just going to move on to the next thing. And that's the whole point of what we're saying right now. If you don't like the game, that's fine. This is maybe not your community. Don't bring the rest of us down with you. Go somewhere else with your rain cloud. We don't need it over here.
Yeah, or just talk about things you do enjoy as opposed to things that you don't. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but in order for them to do that, they would have to enjoy things in life, and I've got a feeling some people like that just aren't happy with anything. So I kind of feel sad for them. They need some antidepressants.
We must
or
all-
whiskey.
Why isn't this game directed at me? Everybody hates me.
All right, so we three are stoked. Today was supposed to be the UC Vanguard finale, but darn it, Bethesda, they don't like to share information with people and just drop stuff by surprise. And
They
so
didn't check our schedule. We've been telling
Yeah,
people
I
for
know.
weeks
it's like,
when
hey,
we're going to record what. So
Yeah.
come on,
yeah,
have
hey,
a little courtesy here. You could have just gave us another week and then, but no.
yeah,
It's
Here we are.
such a double-edged sword how they do it, because like I get how like doing something this way creates buzz and all that, but god
Yeah.
damn, if you just give us a little bit of information once in a while, it would
Mhm.
save us from all this, wild speculation and overhype, and like it's getting our expectations set like way higher than they need to be.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I will.
we still don't know. It's been how many years since they said, like, they showed us that mountain range in Elder Scrolls 6, and we still don't know where the
Wasn't that
region
the same
is that
time
it's
that
going
they
to be in.
announced Starfield was coming out, or
Yeah.
that was the same time that they announced the release date of Starfield? It's been like 6 or 7 years.
It
Yeah.
was 8 years. It was
8 years.
It was 2018. It was the that was where they had their huge Fallout 76 showcase, right?
Mhm.
And then they ended it with showing the Starfield teaser, which did show that it was. You realize in hindsight it was the iSpace station, and then of
Yep.
course the Elder Scrolls
Yeah.
6 thing. So yeah, it's
And
been
now
8
Todd
years.
is saying, pretend that never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. The internet is forever, Todd.
Yep. So, no, I would rather have it the way they do it, although it's the pros and cons of it. But if I were
I'm
to
not saying it has
choose,
to be much. I just wish they would give us a little bit
little bit,
once
little
in a
bit.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you when they put out the tweet of yes, we're still working on Starfield because it's gotten so overheated that the game is dead and they have to say something.
Yeah, a lot of people
Draw a
have been
little
saying
picture. You
game's
go, hey,
dead.
we're still
Yeah.
working on Starfield. Here's a taste. Boom. Throw that up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, they kind of did
They're
with the
really gonna like
screen
what's
that,
coming and throw something like that up.
yeah.
And
They
then
kind of did with that one screen that just said Terran Armada,
right.
but it's like, okay, what the hell is
And then
that?
that's that for how long did that sit for? 2 months? With nothing? Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
We are computer.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to cover. So, there was on Bethesda's YouTube channel, they had that 18-minute video come out
Yep.
that showcased everything we're about to talk about in this episode. And uh, before we get into what I did was I took a lot of screenshots so we can go through them one at a time, and kind of dissect things. And I'll give credit to the Todd father that I love the dude. Like if I could pick any celebrity on the planet to just sit and have a beer for an hour with, it would be Todd Howard every single time. I mean, any other celebrity, actor, musician, whatever. I want to sit down and have a beer with Todd for now. That'd be so much fun. So he's a great promoter, great energy, love his presence. But kudos to him for letting some of his other teammates have limelight. And that's to me that's like the mark of a true leader. Like yeah, sure he could be out there like always crushing it, but he lets some of his other teammates step up to the
I miss
bat.
Pete Hines also. I wish he was still around.
Yeah. Now because he left right after Starfield launched, right?
It was right around the time that Microsoft bought Bethesda, I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna hop right into it. We've got, I think, over 90 pictures to dissect, so this will definitely be a longer episode. And go ahead and click on that first one. Alrighty, folks, and this is image number 1 right at the beginning. And if you guys are watching our show here or listening to it, you can also fire up that 18-minute video and just kind of watch it along and see what we're getting to. So we're at the right at the beginning here. This is, I realized in hindsight, this is the Anchor Point space station. This is the new space station that a lot of quests and content will be. That's based on the free lane stuff. So this is part of the free package.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
This portion of what they talked about reminds me a lot of Watchtower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Going
taking stuff
over.
to Watchtower.
Yeah, definitely pulling from their page. All right. And next image.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. I like this.
Yeah, just a snap
Yeah.
of some of the new armor. It does look like kind of like the Starborn armor a little bit. It's kind of got that
Little bit.
vibe to it, but I wonder if it'll be that might be Terran Armada armor. I don't know.
I was saying this is very Mandalorian around the gauntlets.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
The shoulder pauldron as well.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if, like, I never liked the fact that Starborn armor is one piece.
All right, picture 3, and I snapped this one just because this is this is when you first go into the super cruise, or I just call it warp. You know.
Oh, and it's got very Star Wars like long line.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's gonna be awesome. We'll deep dive into that discussion a little bit more later. And next one, just some new armor, and this had like almost a Dune vibe, you know, with the
I was thinking
cloth.
Dune or like Star Wars also, yeah. Like
Yeah.
some of the Star Wars.
That's
outfit.
pretty good. Some cool. Oh.
And then the
This is
the next picture is inside the Anchor Point, and that's the same armor, of course. Now I
Yeah.
almost wonder if that's actually, you know, that's probably an outfit, not so much a armor. I don't think, or I don't know.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, it does kind of look like the helmet, but you don't know.
Is that? See, you can't tell if he's enclosed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
making a spacesuit, or if it's just like a combat helmet with a wrap.
Oh, and
Okay, yeah, the helmet almost kind of looks like a mining helmet with the light on
Oh.
the side of the head.
Oh yeah, a
Right.
little bit, huh? I discovered something that I have yet to try out. I've been having issues with my stealth in the game, where I get detected way too fast on my stealth character, and a lot of her still sneaking stats are up there, but it might be because I'm actually wearing a spacesuit. I think that's what I saw something in a, I think it was on Reddit. I was on trusty old Reddit, and somebody said something to that effect. So I need to take that off, you know, unequip it, you know, just have it in my inventory, try sneaking around and see what happens. Because I have the setting where when you're inside, you don't see it. So I don't think
Sounds like you're gonna sneak around with
You
no
know,
armor. That's
yeah,
kind of
that's
like
probably
me.
what my issue is. I will report back on that later. So, all right, next, got picture 6. This was just one of the new weapons. At least it looks like a new weapon to me, unless it's.
I don't recognize that pistol.
Yeah.
No.
It almost looked like the Kodama to me, but not quite. So
There's a lot of good detail going on there. You've
Yeah.
got your laser
Yeah.
sight and the button for the turn on your laser designator, right?
Yep. Yeah, a lot of good detail on that gun.
Wow, yeah. What is this? This looks like a manufacturer and then like a D6.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean that's clearly a well upgraded gun as well. So, all right, picture 7 is this was just a quick shot of when you go in your boost and you get the cloak, which is interesting because for those of you who have the Dark Star mod, like we do, that is something that you get. I think once you go through the Unity the first time, then you unlock the ability to install that on your ship. So it'll be interesting to see if this is similar, where you have to, you know, be in G Plus before you get it, or if, you know, it'll
Right.
be there in your first universe.
This is only one portion of a whole new mechanic that they've added. So when you build a ship, right, you put on you put your engines and your weapons and your shields, right?
Yep.
And now they're going to have modules to where you can upgrade each one of those components.
Yeah,
and
I've got some.
get an 10% bonus.
Yeah, I've
So
got a whole bunch of screenshots later on. We'll be able to get into all that because
yeah, okay.
there was a couple times throughout here where I was able to get a screenshot where they showed a list of things and a couple things I caught that if you were just watching it, you might not have noticed. All right, so this
Yeah, here.
is
Ooh,
the
what's
interior
this?
of a hab with. So we're gonna have some vanilla habs that are 2-story. Awesome, I love a staircase. So this looks like it's probably a. I don't know if
Nobody
this is a
likes
2x1
ladders.
or if this is the cockpit. I'm not sure because there is that new cockpit we'll see later.
Oh,
So
yeah, because the one of the
wait,
Nova
no, go
Galactic
click
cockpits
on
has
that again.
staircases.
Okay, no, this is not the cockpit because that door is the fore aft door, the forward and backward door, not a side door. And the staircase in that new cockpit bridge is sideways. So this is definitely a different hab, but it's probably the same. It's probably a Terran Armada. It's probably the same production line.
It's a 1x2,
Mm-hmm.
looks like.
Yep.
And it's going to give
click
you
on the next one. It's the same.
Oh.
Yep. There you go. It's the same one, just a different angle. I think.
Yeah. That's a cool hab. That's
Yeah.
going to be so useful.
Yep.
But you got that hab is going to take it's a 1x2x2. So it's 2 stories tall. So it's going to take up
Mm-hmm.
2 units on an upper level and 2 units on a lower level. So it's going to take up 4 units of space. So if
Yep.
you're building, that's definitely going to be for a bigger ship.
Oh yeah. Yeah, most likely Class C, maybe Class B. All right.
That's M. Mhm.
Oh, true, huh? If they officially do that. So, all right. Next up, picture 10. We got our
What do we
new
got
vehicle here.
Ooh, looky
Yeah.
there.
Zipping by.
One
I
of
like
those
how it's enclosed and it's got a good
Yeah,
aesthetic to
kind
it.
of like the Dimog.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the first Mass Effect game. I think it was the Mako.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
it kind of has that
You guys
vibe.
might be a little bit younger than me. When I was growing up, we had these things called Stomper trucks, and they were a little AA powered, battery powered trucks. And you flip it over and you turn them on, and it starts rolling 4-wheel drive motors. And they would just roll across the carpet or over the Legos or wherever, and they had different snap on shells. This, with the way the oversized, exaggerated tires are, reminds me of those Stomper trucks from when I was a kid.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
I don't quite remember those.
No.
Yeah, do the old Googles, you'll get it.
Oh yeah. And this was the new player home, which I've got more shots of it later, of course.
Oh,
But
there's your ship hanging
yep.
off the side right there. It's cool.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I wondered how they were going to do that. That's a good
Yep.
picture.
Now it click back on that.
Uh-huh.
So the orientation of your ship, that looks like it's probably a top docker on your ship, like
Yeah.
vertical.
Yeah.
So if
I'd
you have
say
a
so.
side docker, it'll be parallel, or side or front docker, it'll be parallel. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping they don't have that stupid thing like on the eye where it's upside down.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that if you have the Stroud Eklund side docker or the HopeTech nose, the front end docker, your
uh-huh.
ship when you dock to the eye, at least on my game, the ship's inverted upside down.
So
It's
all
like
the eye stuff is up here, and the ship is kind of
yeah,
facing.
it's
Yeah,
like
right.
so.
Yeah, because that's most of my ships have the side docker. I
Yeah.
like the side dockers a lot.
And the next few pictures, we can just click through them a little quicker, but these are the interior of that. So
Oh, yep.
yeah,
That's
just really
Nice.
pretty well done. We can
Oh,
discuss this more later when we get to that section of it.
okay.
But this was the only real. Click back on that real quick though.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the only. This was the best full view of this thing. So I'm not sure if that's all one set, and then the display cases on either side are like independent, or like when you put this down, it's all three of these things are just one thing. But
I'm
there's
hoping that
54 toys, or there's 54, or unless those middle ones look like magazines, those three. Because if that's the case, it's 6 magazines and 48 action figures.
Well, no, I think these are just the bigger, like you've
bigger
got
ones. Okay.
Paramorph and the
Oh,
different large.
true. Okay.
I think they did. Yeah, they did show
There's three here,
Terramorph.
and these are the same three. They're just in a different order. They put the red one on the bottom as opposed to the red one on the
Oh,
top.
I see. Okay.
They can kind of function like bobbleheads, from my understanding. So
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what I understand too.
Yeah.
I hope we can put these display cases on our spaceships.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sure you can. Yeah.
or in your outpost.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and this little guy.
Yep. You got your new pet and the I can't remember his name. I've got a later
Ball
on.
whale or something like that.
Oh yeah, Millwell for the creature. Millwell for the
yeah.
creature, and then the robot. I've got his name listed later on when we get to that section.
He kind of reminds me of the robot from the Jedi like Survivor Fallen Order games. I can't remember what his name
Yeah,
is, but
BB or
yeah,
oh,
B1
BB8
or
BD1
Yeah.
BD1.
BD1. That's right. Yeah.
Next shot is the Terran Armada fleet with their capital ship there. So now you notice the lightning in the background. It looks like that one system on the Crimson Fleet quest with the lightning going off.
Yes.
So I wonder if that's where they come out, or if there's another system in the game or unless it's a new system they introduced. I don't know.
I think I've heard just in passing them talking about over at a new system, but I don't know.
Okay.
That's speculation totally from me. I've watched tons of videos, and so some of it might be jumbled up. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But one thing I want to point out. So obviously the big ship here is going to be a Class M ship.
Okay.
Look over here. This is going to be a Class C or a Class B ship, and it's got those engines on it that I was talking about that I really love.
Oh yeah.
Shape engines. So I thought these were going to be. We discussed that these were going to be Class M engines. I don't think so. I think these are going to be Class C engines.
Okay, that's a good call. Yeah.
Normal ships. Cool. Who's this guy?
That's one of the Terran Armada robots.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and all I can say, scroll back up. Oh yeah. So that next picture. So if you look at his general shape, and then you look at the next one I linked, that's the Star Wars super tactical droid. I don't know if you've watched Clone Wars or Rebels.
37s or
Yeah, something like that. It just kind of the look of them kind of reminded me of that.
Wow, that's like 1-to-1 straight up ripoff almost, huh?
I wouldn't say it's a ripoff, just more like
Okay.
properly inspired. There's a few times that happens.
Humanoid inspired robot is going to be a humanoid inspired robot, I guess, right?
Yep. And I put a question mark on this saying Terran Armada base, but later on when they discuss the Terran Armada thing more in depth, it confirms it. That's one of their bases.
Gotcha. And then more
of the fleet, yeah. So you can see how big when you got a straight shot. If that's a Class C above it and on the far left, then that shows you how big that Class M is.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to look at like this one looks like it's got those diamond shape engines that I really like, because I think they're going to go great into my it'll give me the next version of my avant-garde spaceship. And so I think those engines will fit right into the back of the wings. That's going to look awesome. Here we go. What do we got here?
All right. So now this is the official. This is all of our stuff here. So we've got the Trackers Alliance stuff, which is all available right now, of course, for all players. If you already paid for the Trackers Alliance stuff, then it's available right now.
Yeah, for the Vulture. The Starjacker was free, but the Vulture you had to pay for.
Gotcha. Yeah. So now I bought the premium edition of Starfield, so it covered all future DLC. So I just go in and download it.
I'm kind of concerned because I think when the game came out, I had it on Game Pass, and I paid for the premium edition. I have since canceled Game Pass and went and bought a physical copy of the game. I don't know if the premium upgrade purchase is going to count or not.
I would think so.
I don't remember. The last time we had something come out, I can't remember. I can't remember if when Shattered Space came out, if I had to buy it or if it was rolled over to the premium package that I was no longer using for Game Pass. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I bought it in two different ways. I don't know if it's going to recognize. It should just recognize that purchase and say, "Yeah, you purchased the upgrade. You should have it." Okay.
Yeah, I would think so, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
Yeah. We'll see. If I don't get it, I guess what? I'm spending $10 and getting it.
Yep. And this was just a beautiful shot with the moon and the gas giant. Obviously,
Oh
you're
yeah.
on a moon.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a great picture.
Just a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
So,
What is that in the sky? Is that just a regular fauna or?
no, yeah,
This
it's one
one?
of those flying things. They kind of move. They glide real slow. I've come
Okay.
across them on a couple different planets.
We got the
And
buddies.
yeah, all I can say is I want that as my office.
Right? It's a rough day when that's the office you have to go to, right?
I know. Must be miserable.
Yeah. I can't imagine going in and high-fiving this dude every day.
Yeah.
Hey, brother.
Life size Fallout or power armor.
Right?
Power armor, and then
That
you
is
got the
so cool.
Starfield helmet in the background too.
Yeah. Look at the shadow on the wall on the shout. Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
Wow.
and then
Okay.
there's the Starfield like watch, like the Constellation watch briefcase also. I think.
Yeah, that's on the desk there in front of him, huh?
Yeah.
So I don't know this guy, the art director guy, but the other two, Tim Lamb and Emil Pagliarillo, are both familiar names and faces for Starfield that
Mhm.
have been around the company for a long, long time. But
Yep.
I started recognizing them when Starfield started getting traction and getting
Yeah.
all ready to be released. Then you
Yeah.
started seeing both of these guys' faces.
Yep.
So
Starting to see them a
they're
little more.
big, yeah. And so I think, like you were saying, it's awfully nice that Todd took a step back and said, "Okay, you guys take the lead on this. I want you guys to promote this and
Mhm.
show this off and show it in its best light for us."
Yeah,
So
because
that's pretty cool.
Todd went out and did a lot of interviews. Anyways, I've seen a couple of them now. So
Yeah.
if you're like me and you like Todd and are disappointed he was not in this video at all, he's
You can
IGN.
find it.
Yeah, you can find the interviews. He's out there. So
Yeah,
now,
it was a couple weeks ago they brought a lot of people out to do like an early preview of all this, and I guess that's when Todd did those interviews. But
look at
yeah, it was really cool.
look at his arm there. Is that a rad scorpion tattoo?
I don't know if it's a rad scorpion or just a scorpion, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at his face. He looks like somebody farted beside him.
I actually I tried 3 times to get a decent snip where it's but nothing worked. When you watch it in video form, it was no big deal. But then I have to find out. Hey, Emil, is that a red scorpion tattoo or is that already just some other random scorpion? Yeah. So
'Cause I
then
think he did say that he got a a Starfield related tattoo.
okay.
He did,
don't
yeah. It
know.
was for the Baroon. He got the
The circle.
what do we
symbol.
call that, Kenny? The Rubo,
Oh, the Ouroboros.
the Ouroboros.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah.
he got the Ouroboros tattoo of the
Yeah.
Starfield Maroon snake.
Yep.
Yeah,
oh,
I remember years ago he showed it off, and he was really proud of how into the Baroon he was.
Yep.
So here we got they were
Yeah.
talking about, hey, Starfield's not dead. We've never have abandoned it. And here, take a look at this. This
Yeah.
is all the stuff in the last 2 years that we've been supporting this game with.
Yeah, and that's just a
You feel
fraction
like
of all
that,
this
you're like,
stuff. And when you add
yeah.
and factor, all the creations, which there's a
It's
lot of free stuff.
interesting that they mentioned at Hell's Gate because that technically wasn't them, right? That was
Well, no, and
that was
neither was
yeah,
the Daemog.
yeah, but no, the Hell's
So
Gate, King Gath made that mod. They invited King
yeah.
Gath to come and make a crossover mod for us.
Okay, so
So
that it
they
was kind of
paid
done work for them.
they paid a modding company to come in and do it, so they kind of both get credit for it, I guess. But yeah, when you look this up on the creation kit, Hell's Gate does come up as a Bethesda mod.
okay.
Okay. which I love that mod. It's awesome.
Yeah, I took that screenshot just to so people realize like there's so much content, and Jackson and I were talking last night about this being maybe our age, like when we were uh, gaming in the 80s and the 90s and even the early 2000s. Jax, calm down. Dude, slow down, dude. We we were we didn't have new content when the game came out. That was it. There's nothing.
Yeah.
And then somewhere around the mid 2000s, Oblivion, of course, infamously had the horse armor, and then the other DLC.
Was the first that I remember playing that had DLC.
Yeah, and so it's like I'm so used to games not having anything new that the fact that here we are 3.5 years or a couple 3 years later, and we're still getting new content.
Yeah.
I think it was it was earlier than that though, because I know Morrowind had 2 DLC. But yeah, it was right around the early 2000s. Yeah, when games came out, they were complete, and there were no updates for them. Like if there were bugs, they were there. Like just watch Angry Video Game Nerd, and he'll talk about all sorts of NES bugs that were just left in there.
Yeah, and they would not get fixed because they couldn't fix them. There was no way to fix bugs in games. So, all right, there's going to be a lot of new POIs. So I took that snapshot of that one. Just a beautiful, beautiful set piece. It looks like,
Yeah. So I was hearing that there is actually, when this comes out, there will be over 80 different POIs to encounter. And they've changed the cooldown rate to where you're not going to jump from one planet with this one on it, go to the next planet, and it's going to be right there. There will be a cooldown rate. So you're not going to run into the same one over and over and over again.
Okay. That'll be nice.
The only way you're going to be able to get this, you can't go buy it. You got to go explore, land on some new POIs, and eventually there is a specific POI that will have it.
That's
so
cool.
You can't buy it. You got to go find it.
Okay. So train of thought derailed. Okay.
All
right. Next one. New armor.
Yeah.
All I can.
I don't like that.
Well, I'll say this for those of you that get the reference. When I saw this, it took me a second, and then I just heard the numbers 2319 in my head. You probably aren't going to get it, Jax. That's where my borderline Gen X to millennial age range puts me.
Yeah, so that one's beyond me.
Do you get the 2319 reference, Solior?
But now I'm curious.
Monsters Inc. When when the one monster comes back from scaring the crap out of the kid, and he's got a sock on his back. It's contamination. It's like a biohazard thing. So there's they scream out 2319, 2319, and they jump on the monster, put a tent thing around him, shave all his hair off. But go back to that armor. It just I should have dropped the Monsters Inc. The guys that respawn, the hazmat guys, they're all wearing this solid yellow suit, but you can't see any of their faces because it's like that helmet has that vibe. It's just a very blocky. Yeah, I don't know.
And it's interesting that dudes were using a cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a different type of mining suit.
And that's a new skin for the cutter, right?
Yeah, true. I don't recognize that one. I've come across, I think, 3 skins in the game. There's the regular one, Mars.
Yep.
And Hellers.
Yeah, and Hellers. Oh, and there's a third one in the Trackers Alliance.
The hot rod one.
Flames on it.
Yeah, the hot rod one. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that next set of armor. Oh, go back up one.
Sorry.
Yeah, this reminds me a bit of it's a Mass Effect. I don't know if you played Mass Effect. One of the suits in Mass Effect, it looks like that.
Wow, look at the textures, how good that looks with the hard armor and then the soft glove. That really comes through as the soft points in the armor here.
Yeah.
here, like the wrinkles in the leather around his finger.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good attention to detail.
Yeah.
Of course,
And the gun,
the new gun.
too. Look at
Yeah.
this one. Oh, man. That reminds me of some stuff I got in the safe.
Yep. Good old AR-15 kind of. For a
Yeah.
second, I almost thought it was like a SCAR, but I mean, there are mods you can get on an AR-15 that does extend, the I'm brain farting on the term around the barrel, the
Oh, the Picatinny rail up here.
yeah.
And the handguard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because you can see the barrel under here, and then it's got the handguard around it and the Picatinny rail for accessories,
Yep.
under, sides, and all across the top. Yeah.
Yep.
Very good representation of the modern firearms, which they mentioned that also in the video, was that
a lot of players
they
wanted
heard
that. Yep.
they heard people complaining that they wanted some more modern, realistic, modern as in our times
Yeah.
style of guns. So that's their nod to that. So that's pretty cool.
And that's a laser. That's got to be an energy weapon, I'm assuming.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
yep. There's your engines.
Yep, that's the engines I was talking about. These are going to be so cool. And I think this is actually 4 modules. There's 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4. So this will be on one side of the wings, and this will be on the other side of the wings, and then I'll fill that in with whatever I want on my ship.
I wonder if there's going to be some structure pieces that have that shape that you can then put in front of it, kind of like how the Stroud Eklund Cowlings have the same shape as those engines, right? That mesh well.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So there's the engine, but yeah, this picture does not show anything forward of them matching the same slopes.
Because you can see a reactor on the one side and a grab drive on the other.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and
this is the new cockpit.
Yeah, the new bridge.
Expanded, and you got windows in the back, and you've got I'm so excited.
Now, click back on that. So there's some text. I wanted to focus on it. Center contact, orbital deceleration, and inertial dampeners engaged. So when they're talking about the interdiction thing, it sounds like there's kind of two contexts they're talking about. So in the free lanes, which is just part of the free update everybody's going to get, you're going to have those, when you're in your super cruise mode, various things, random events are going to happen that will cause you to decelerate out of your warp speed. And then of course that's a mechanic that's explicitly used by the Terran Armada.
Right. Yeah. The free lanes is your ability to travel from planet to planet in like a hyperspeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking last night. It's a little confusing whether or not there'll be interdictions if you don't get Terran Armada, but for sure, Terran Armada will produce interdictions with you.
Well, there'll be interdictions, I think, in the freelance stuff, but there will be a special type of interdiction. Go ahead and click back on that bridge. There will be a interdiction that where they shut down grab jumping in the whole system, which I'm assuming will just be related to when you're doing the quest line. But we'll find out. So this is the interior of the cockpit, and at first I thought it was the Deimos until I realized, well, no, the Deimos cockpit, because it has all the frame on the windows. The Deimos cockpit, you're sitting to the left a little, or is it to the right? You're not sitting in because there's only 2 seats up front. And so you're slightly staggered when you're sitting in the chair. But this one I can tell is a new one because you're in the center and the back, and so that's how I knew this was definitely a new bridge.
Yeah, you got this seat here and this seat here with the main command seat, pilot seat here. So this would be navigator and co-pilot, something like that.
Yep. And then and the next one, and then the very next one, I'm like, oh, definitely a new bridge, because this is a wide shot of it. So you can see your chair right there. You got your navigation console, and there's that staircase that's going down sideways. And the aesthetic of it does look like that 2-story hab we saw previously. So, and they make a point to say that the Terran Armada. I can't remember how they worded it, but it was something to the effect of upgraded Nova Galactic stuff. So it does have a Nova Galactic-esque aesthetic to it, but they've just modernized it.
So you and I, we may have put this on one of our podcasts when we were doing Shattered Space about how they should have added some modules for Shattered Space, and they would be like just like what they've done here. We already talked about this exact thing in the time and space of when they separated from the community that we know. Then they have that tech, and so they've gone on a divergent development path, and that's what they're showing here is that Terran Armada has separated from us and gone on a divergent path. They had this equipment, and they've improved it and moved it forward in their own way. Yeah. Okay.
There is a mod that I use that adds House of Varun habs, but it would be nice if that was actually part of the game itself.
Yeah.
What we got? Oh, what do we got here?
So this was a shot just of when you're watching the video. The ship is in Super Cruise mode because the moon you can see through the window is just like zooming by, and so that's just and we've talked about this before. Where in when I played EVE Online, you would warp between planets, and it was so awesome to do that in that game, and the fact they have something like that in this game, where admittedly, it's purely for the role play of it. I mean, there are the random encounters you're going to now have when that pull you out of it, which will be fun. And I'm assuming they're still going to allow you to just fast travel, right, to the next planet. I don't think they're going to force. I don't think they'll force you to. I don't know for sure. I hope not, because for what it's worth, if I want to
specifically, they are not taking away any of the travel modes. This is just in addition to.
Good to know. Yeah, because I like to take off from a spaceport, get out of my captain's chair, walk around, and just do stuff in my ship. So now that I can do that while I'm in motion and just kind of enjoy the role play of something crazy could happen,
Yeah.
So this screenshot I took was this is when an interdiction happens and the screen will shake, an alarm will sound off. So it's very clear that something's going down. And it could just be, there's a little asteroid belt that you happen to be coming by. So your ship needs to slow down and not wreck itself. Yeah. It could be you are being attacked. It could be maybe we'll see grandma that way. Who knows, right? She's going to say, hey, come over to my ship for a meal. All right. So the next one. Oh, this is a cool screenshot of you can, if you look on the pan to the left, you can see the lasers flying by the bridge through the window there. Outside, right there. Yeah. So that'll be fun if you're, sometimes it's an interdiction where you are scrambling your ship because you're under fire. So
yeah, what is this going on over here? Look on the right side.
That was some debris. There was a ship that was already destroyed.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So if there's already debris, I mean, I guess it could be a maybe you're the third party to a battle that's already going on. Maybe that could be what happens sometimes.
And
now this one, zoom in on that one because derelict Croatoan. So this is just an abandoned ship. I thought it was very very cool that they used the word Croatoan. If you guys are familiar with the history of that,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Remind me, because it sounds familiar, but
back in
Roanoke.
Roanoke. Back in the colonial days, there was a colony called Roanoke.
Yes.
And the Croatoan was a tribe, and this colony disappeared. And there was no signs of any struggle or ill intent, anything.
Yeah, everybody was just gone.
Yeah, it's one of those life's mysteries. So if they have another ship called, the Roanoke, that'd be funny.
Right. This one is the new stuff.
Yep, our X-Tech.
Yep.
Now, of course, if you have Darkstar, Darkstar to me is the superior way to modify your weapons with the effects, because it sounds like it's kind of slightly a randomized thing with or wait, no, never mind.
So the way it was
this is the X-Tech stuff. It makes your weapon from legendary to exotic, giving you a fourth effect. Because you can see there's 4 effects over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this will
Right.
complement Dark Star.
Yeah.
And so Kismet is the one effect on this one, which every time you reload, there is a 25% chance that your next magazine size will be tripled.
So
Nice.
go from 100 to 300 in your next
Mhm.
mag. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at the fire rate of that. God, 204. That's incredible. Yeah, huh. Okay.
Yep.
I was
Um,
going to
No,
say
that's
something.
that's
Oh,
definitely
I remember
cool.
what it was. So yeah, the random roll. So you can spend every video I've seen. It shows them when you're in this screen and you want to modify your gun. It shows one of these X techs. So you can
Okay.
roll the first time. If you don't get what you want, you can roll a second time, spend another one, roll a third time, roll a fourth time, roll a fifth time.
Okay.
At that point, if you haven't gotten what you want, then you can pick one.
Oh, so there is a point.
Roll 5
Okay.
times first. You got to
That's good.
spend five times before you actually get the opportunity to just pick it. And
Okay.
I don't know how many new new legendaries there are going
Yeah.
to be.
Effects. Yeah.
Right.
Well, click
So,
on yeah. So click on that one because
okay. Methodical.
reckless. This is the reckless is where the magazine is reduced to 1 round, but the damage is massively increased. Perfect for sniping.
Right. Yep.
Barbaric.
Attacks
Now
are
this
faster.
is an upgrade. I'm assuming then to your this is a X Tech upgrade to your armor. I'm assuming because yeah, I took that was hard getting that screenshot with the axe hitting the helmet.
I don't know if it's to ours or to theirs. I think this is an upgrade to the enemies.
No, that's to
Because
ours. I'll get
Yeah.
in. We get into that part later. Click back on the barbaric one.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's about your stuff. Oh, I guess it doesn't specify your, but no, there is another section we'll get into it in a little bit that
Excuse me.
talks about the upgrades to the enemies. But yep, so there's that one, Saboteur for the robots. They might explode on death.
We got that plenty in 76.
Right?
Yeah. Methodical. This was an interesting one. Because usually I kill the weaker guys first. But if you kill
Yeah.
with this one, it gives you the chance if you kill them first, then you get 50%, so you can more damage, so you can mop up the weaker guys at that point.
What are these icons below his level? The
That's
pirate
what
course.
that's what you were talking about. We'll get into that a little bit later. But they have,
Okay.
and your enemies now have traits. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's coming up pretty soon, and we should see that soon. Saboteur. Oh, that's the robot one.
Let me look at this up. And he does it. Yeah, that's the first one I've seen it on. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I think the only ones that have traits are probably like the boss ones, anyways. So
Gotcha.
so imagine if you take that X Tech effect that allows you to do 50% more damage if you've killed the boss, but he has the effect that causes his minions to go crazy when he dies.
Right. Yes.
So yeah.
That's what I was thinking it was.
Yep.
But I don't know how they would use that for you. I mean, if you die, you don't just watch your companions fight, you reload and start going again. So that's kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
Right?
That's just the skin, the new constellation skin. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. They showed another one that was kind of a
click on that one above it. Well, that's the neon one.
Yeah, I really like that coloring. That's cool.
Yeah, it's got the neon pink
kind
and blue. It's like the 80s color. Go scroll back up though. There you go. That's another constellation skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
I like that purple and green. That's pretty neat.
Oh,
It
yeah.
reminds me of that old Ford multicolor DuPont paint that they put on the old Tauruses and the old SHO Taurus and T-Birds that would flip colors. And it was this same kind of purpley color to green color, which was ugly on a car. I hated that color. But there, it looks pretty good here.
Now this was, I'm glad I caught this because it went through this pretty fast. But look at that list. These are all the new equipment modules: Strata
Mm-hmm.
mesh antenna, stellar reach antenna, anti-targeting system, evasive stealth drive, micro reactor, shield refractor unit, extended comm array, advanced ship scrap unit, EM pulse shielding, repair system overdrive, buoyant insulators, and that's assuming you can't scroll down even more than that. Is there going to be a limit of how many equipment pieces you can have on your ship? Because if there's not,
Oh,
good
the
lord, you're going
one
to have a god mode ship.
like it'll add like 10% to your if you pick the shield one where the shield react, it adds 10% to your shields,
Yep.
10% to reactor pips, you know,
Yeah.
10% to your EM pulse. That's shielding. I'm sure there's one for antennas. Yeah, see, there's got to be some for your damage output. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a 10% boost. So yeah, if you buy 50 of them or 5 of them, are you getting a 50% boost in your shields?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good. You go and start hiding them underneath the other cowling so you don't have all these little lumps and bumps all over your ship, you know.
Yeah.
You can hide them in the work of your ship
Yep.
so you don't see them. But yeah, you get the bonus. Oh, interesting. And
And
that's the
that's just
shield, right?
that was a close up view of one of the new equipment pieces. So it'll be really cool having some new gadgets and gizmos on your ship. Now,
Right.
what was this? Oh, yeah, this is the ship optimization terminal. So when you select the terminal, the next screenshot will show it. But that's what it looks like. It's just a little thing. It looks like it's probably always going to be in your bridge, right?
Looks like it.
And so this was a screenshot of an example. So targeting enemy ships in targeting mode is 10% faster. So notice how it says optimize subsystem 13 of 6. So they allow you to over optimize it, like
Huh.
does each time you put X Tech into that optimization, does it like become less effective? Like you're talking, oh, it's a 1% increase. No, now it's a
Right.
0.5%. Are we splitting
The first one
hairs?
is the second one is 9, then the third one is only 8%. Yeah. So you can't just keep stacking them to the point where, like you said, you get to the 10th one and it's just doing 1%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 5 out of 4 people understand that, man. Thruster fuel optimization. Thrusters turn speed. Okay, okay. Increased by 10%. So
Oh,
that's going to help
you're
maneuverability.
yeah, you're when you're flat spinning or strafing sideways in your ship.
Yeah. Cool, cool. Oh, I like this too.
Yep.
This is kind of fun.
Yep, your elevated cabin. It's your all-in-one. Everything's already in it. Little two-story,
If I could set one of these
pre-decorated.
up on top of a Dark Star terminal, Dark Star landing pad,
Mhm.
boy, that'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Yep, it'll be so nice having that because a lot of times I just want to throw something basic down, so I have something there right next to my landing pad.
Like, yeah, that's the kind of thing that you just throw one of these down on Venus.
Yeah.
Because every once in a while you want to go to Venus and rest for X amount of hours. Boom, there's your little getaway from
Yeah.
home. What do we got here? Shared outpost container. Yeah.
Finally,
Yep.
yes.
This
So
will
it
be
says that
nice.
you can only have one per outpost of these,
Mhm.
but every
Well, you
outpost
only need one because they're only linked down. I
right.
tried to watch the video to see if there's any indication of the capacity of that thing, and I did not. I'm hoping it's a big one because I pretty much keep everything in my ships and my ship cargo hold, and I mean because I want to have access to everything, and
I find that I start having save issues and crashing issues if my ship gets too full of junk.
mm,
So every once in a while I got to go and take everything out and
clean
store it at a
house.
base somewhere.
Yep.
This is so cool.
Yep. There's your panorama. It reminded me of. Do you remember? Do you guys remember the Halo 3? One of the Halo 3 trailers. It showed like a miniature set that was like in a museum. Like this would have been like decades after the events
So is
of it
this Ron
because
Hope right?
it might have the bald hair.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then here's Captain Akande from the Vigilance. Is it what's the ship? He
yeah,
used to have a
yeah. That
major ship.
totally could be them. But this Halo trailer, there was like an old Marine that was talking or narrating over the trailer, and this set piece reminds me of that. All right, so we've got Freestar
Here's
Militia Medic.
yeah.
Oh no, go
Oh,
click back on that. Go back to the medic on the right. Zoom in. Yeah. 8 items heal 5% quicker on first pickup. So I don't know exactly what the wording on that means, but you know, that's just to show how each of these toys, when you get them, like the bobbleheads and Fallout, they give you a stat boost somehow as you collect them.
what does that mean? On first pickup.
Hmm.
So if you're into you find this thing, and so the next time you come across a bandage, the very first bandage is 5% quicker, but the second bandage is not.
Oh, you know what that might indicate is you might come across that particular action figure multiple times, and you only
Oh,
get that perk the first time. So that might obviously that would be for all of them. Where in Fallout,
yeah,
there's one bobblehead for strength, there's one for lock picking. This
Yeah.
one you might
right.
just come across these everywhere, so you don't get stuck where you can't get into a place and find it. Eventually you'd be able to get them all because they're just toys scattered across the galaxy.
That okay. Did you
That's
explain it
good.
that way? That
I don't
makes
like
sense.
how they do it in 76 then.
Yeah.
So I've got like multiple of like everything.
Yeah.
Oh, and this, so it looks like he has different skins. I don't know if he changes on his own or you get to pick one, but you can tell those are two distinctly
Said you could
different
customize
skins.
him.
Okay.
In the video it said you could customize him. Here's your little buddy, and you can customize him. It was
Okay.
just a one throwaway line. But yeah, I think this is obviously what they meant by customizing. Pick different skins, literally for
Yep.
him.
Yep.
What do we got here? What do we got here? What is this?
What was, why did I, oh, right at the bottom, database, RB. So this is where they talk about the database where you can track stuff.
Yep.
And the next screen will show that. So you've got your inorganics,
Nice.
organics, recipes, outposts, and location. So a new location to, thank God, because this is probably part of the reason I didn't get too much into the outpost building yet, because there wasn't a good system to track that, you know.
There was a great system. It's called Inara.
Yeah, the website.
I just had it on my Pip Boy here all the time, where I could just look
Yep.
at. Oh, okay, that's where we got to go.
Oh, did you? Oh no. Okay, you're good. Yeah. So this was the. Scroll up a little bit. I think it says something at the very top. Yeah, prototype schematic. Oh, this is for the quantum entanglement device. Now I like how they have the data pad that literally shows you right there. This is what you need, so it's very clear.
Yeah,
And
quantum essence, adaptive frame.
so you finally have a new use for quantum essences other than just recharging your power bar, your mana bar, your magicka.
Right.
You know. And there it
I
is.
was looking last night. I've got 63 of them already saved on Eldon Leroy's character, and he's in a fairly new universe. So
Nice.
if it's just one or there's 10 there and there's well, anyway. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem collecting those because I don't use them for anything else.
Now, that's the quantum entanglement device there. You can upgrade its storage capacity with quantum essence. So even after you've built it, you
Nice.
can continue to. There's a different shot of it. It's a pretty cool looking thing. It's got
Yeah,
the glowing
I'm glad that
bubbles.
this exists. I wish that we could send our ships through, but
I imagine that'll
you know,
come
what
eventually.
can we do?
I mean, the easy solution would be the ship you're in when you do go through the
Yeah,
Unity. That one just is the one that goes with you. So you would start with
yeah,
that
because like
one, a
guns
Starborn.
and armor are
Mhm.
just guns and armor. Like it's not But like your ship, you spend so much time and money, and then you're
Right?
in it all the time. Like it's
You-
your home essentially. Like
You're going to give me a way to modify weapons so I can turn any weapon into the best weapon, right? And then you're going to give me the ability to take that weapon with me. Why would I want to take it with me? I'll just go to the next one and find a Grendel over there and you know.
yeah.
But a ship, like you said, that's hours and hours of building it and customizing it, and
Mhm.
decorating it, and
Fussing about
painting
things
it.
not snapping properly, and
I mean, how much time do you guys spend on the paint jobs after you've got it built?
oh yeah.
You got it the way you
Well, I
want
mean,
it. Then you start
there is
doing different
ways.
layout paints on it and go, okay, the
Yeah.
whole thing's going to be this color, but then I want to have a scheme of this color running through it and
Mhm.
hours. And then I just leave it
Yeah.
behind. That's a,
Well,
and that's a heartbreaking kind of a
the
hard pill.
you can select your whole ship and then do
Yeah, you
the
can.
color 1, color 2, color 3. Now, unfortunately,
Sure.
sometimes one you might have to deal with an issue with the color. You wanted color 2 to be black on these parts, and then color 1 to be white on these parts, but then you had
Exactly. And that's where it takes so long because
yeah,
you want to have like if your ship is 5 modules wide, you want to have the innermost module running one color pattern scheme. And then the outer ones have a different color pattern scheme. So it takes a ton of time to get all those paint jobs. Some of them,
Yeah.
I look at some of these custom ships and I'm like, man, I don't know how they painted those like that, where they're blending the color from like red to yellow to orange to green to blue. And it's like, wow, that's amazing.
Now, did they say they said something about being able to customize starborn ships, right? Or am I misremembering? Because
I don't
starborn
recall.
ships really aren't that great.
No.
Uh,
They're
like,
pretty.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's not even like a bed or anything. It's just the bridge, and there's nothing you can do to like
I always
mod.
go off to one of the side rooms and go into the decorate mode and throw a bed down.
Yep.
Just so I have a place to sleep in there.
It's like it's really agile, but and like fast, but the weapons aren't the best either, and
Yeah.
I don't know. So
No.
hopefully, like if we could customize the Starborn ships too, like I'd probably spend more time with them. But
I mean,
Oh, actually get them
I'm
into
just
the
gonna build a
program.
better one.
yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
up to this point in the game, in the vanilla game, the only cool thing about having a Starborn ship is it's the only ship that does the cloak when you boost. But now
Yeah.
that's not going to be a
Oh,
thing anymore, right? So because we're going to have that as a module.
right.
But
Yeah.
at least now Starborn ship are worthwhile because as Jax is circling it, you have gained 1 quantum essence for destroying a Starborn ship. It should
And I
be
do have it
3.
as part
Should
of
be
my
3.
Should be 3 because there's
yeah.
3 of those souls in there, and if you've destroyed the ship, you've killed 3 of them, so you should
Yep.
get 3 S. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What
I
were you
do have it as
saying?
part of my watchtower fleet, but I'm not using it myself. I
Ah,
just
okay.
stationed one of my companions on there.
What about? I'm sorry, I missed that. What about your companions in the Watchtower fleet?
Oh, I have for the Starborn ship. Like I do have it as part of my watchtower fleet. But
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Let's see, 15 quantum S. Confirm upgrade, 15 of them.
Oh, so earlier when I
Yep.
talked about overdoing it, there was the one thing where it showed the 13 of 6. This is like when you're in the crafting mode, where the number on the left is how many you have, the number on the right is how many needed for that. That's what that is.
Okay. And this is showing what you were talking about. You start out with the entanglement device as
Mhm.
at a certain capacity. This guy has already gotten it up to 180. Maximum is 200. And it looks like it's 15 every time you want to jump this up by 20 or so.
Yep.
20 capacity or so. So
All right. Next up is now this was a brief flash, and it caught my eye. This is in your resource menu, you
what
know,
is
it
X-Tech
specifies
Arm.
that the different factions have their own X Tech.
Well, is the one below this going to be
No.
Crimson Fleet?
Above
Maybe?
above and below were not related to X-Tech.
Oh.
So that's why I only clipped it right there.
Okay.
And this, why? Well, yeah, you can now use essences to upgrade your powers. So in order to upgrade your powers, you don't have to constantly do
That's
NG
right.
plus.
Yeah,
That's
they were
very
talking about that on
nice.
Fallout feed last night. So yeah, you don't need to. You could stay in a single universe
Yeah.
and fully upgrade your
You're going to need
powers
to go
now.
through
That's
one,
nice.
right? I think they were saying you have to go through the first NG plus in order to start using the
That.
upgrades.
Mhm.
I think that's what they.
Okay.
See,
Yeah.
those are minor details. We'll figure it out. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
either way, it's awesome that you now will be able to, because I only used like 3 or 4 of the different powers, and
Yeah,
in
like
order to get those
personal
3 or 4
atmosphere.
powers to the level that's decent to use, you got to go collect all of them. Go through, yeah. So that's going to save a lot of time and a lot of headache, a lot of grinding. Kenny and I have talked about this a few times when you get becoming an adult and you got to pay the mortgage and you've got to pay the insurance and you got to go to the 40-hour a week job. You just don't have time to grind all this crap anymore.
No.
Oh,
This is what. So I was going to mention this earlier. You said this is a pet. This,
well,
from what
he's a crew member.
he is
Yeah,
Yeah.
on companion.
Yeah. I think I have his name, Model G. That's his name, Model G.
Model G, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
he's
that
going to be a
screenshot,
companion, just like just like
Vasco,
yeah, companions, Vasco. Yeah, exactly.
and that
Or
screenshot, that's when he's kneecapping a dude and kills him.
right.
that was great. I
They were
love
saying
seeing
that
that.
he does very little damage, but yeah, if it's fun to see him go after a guy that's got one little tick of health left and take him out. Yep, cool. Who's this dude? New armor? Oh
Yep, just
yeah,
some new armor. Yep.
I like that helmet. Ooh, I wonder if that
Kind of
they've got
looks like
different versions with
N7
the
armor.
visor down and up.
It looks like a what armor?
Kind of like the Mass Effect N7 armor a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it does kind of have that vibe to it, huh? Oh, and here we are. This is when the traits that your enemies have. So this is how it shows them. So
Yeah.
martyr, dying puts nearby allies into a rage, and then yeah, tricky chance to avoid damage. So, but I think it's going to be only on bosses. I didn't see any indication it would be on your regular minions, or maybe they'll only have one, and the bosses will have up to 3. I don't know. Rev 8 photo mode.
Yep.
2319, 2319.
6-7.
Oh God. 20.
Wow.
Okay. Oh yeah, and then the next one's just that's a cool shot of the looks like kind of like the war pick from Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would not be pleasant to be hit with that. Oh, and here's your
Another shot of your base, just a different angle.
different angle. Yeah.
I'm not seeing any windows that allow you to look out and see your ship, though. I hope there is, because if they built something like this and you can't just look out the window and see your ship, I'm
Right.
going to be a little disappointed.
Yeah. And I wonder if you could okay. Interesting.
So here's some more of the interior of it. There's a fireplace back over there that had a cool effect.
So here's a window. Here's a window.
Yep.
So yeah, just depending on the orientation of them. But like you said, if they didn't design it to where you can look out at least one of them and look out and see your ship out floating out in space, yeah, that's going to be a totally missed opportunity. That's a nice looking planter there. Okay, I'm just going to kind of rotate through the different ones here.
I wonder if that's a navigation console. Like you activate that and it opens up your map, I mean,
right. Huh.
Thought I silenced my phone. Sorry about that.
Oh, I didn't even hear it.
Okay, good.
So you definitely have windows that allow you to look out from it, but the question is can you see your ship from any of them?
Right.
That's that's a pretty sweet shot right there.
Yeah, it is. And here's that red mist you were talking about before when you in the Crimson Fleet.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, that could just be a nebula that's in the sky or in the But,
uh-huh.
oh, and
But
these.
I noticed during the trailer or during the 18-minute interview deal, a lot of the shots with the Terran Armada stuff has this red filter on it.
True. So I took the next two screenshots. I noticed something. The Terran Armada robots, they have their lights in their face are two colors, white or red. So I'm wondering if that's a visual indicator that they're in an aggro mode because they've been alerted to your presence.
Okay. That
This
makes
is two
sense.
different models. Look at the chest piece here and the
Oh,
chest piece.
yeah. So probably different
Well, I
weapon
noticed their heads have
loadouts.
been different too. Like those are different heads from the previous ones.
Yep. So see, here's when it's red and they're charging with guns up. So I think that might be a visual cue for a stealthy character once they see the light turn back to white. Maybe like, oh, we're in the clear.
Yeah.
Now,
What did we think this was?
so this is the part of the interdiction thing where they disable grab jumping. This is part of that because that's when they were talking about that mechanic in the game that the Terran Armada can do. They were showing this building, and I've got another screenshot that shows it. But that
So it
thing,
kind of indicates that maybe this is the POI you have to go and conquer this POI in order to grab
kind
them.
of like in the Watchtower, how you have to go and deal with the things there.
Yes.
So, this is the friendly crew member Terran Armada robot you can pick up.
This guy I will have as a companion.
I'm getting Legion from Mass Effect vibes from him. So
kind of, yeah. I like they keep reminding me though of like the HK-47 from KOTOR.
yeah, that's another good. Oh yeah, I would say he definitely more like that. Yeah.
Statement: I'm going to kill you now.
Statement. Yeah.
There's the new cockpit. So
Yeah.
bridge. So the staircase, I'm wondering down in there. I wonder how many. Obviously, it's a two-story one like the Cabot. So I'm wondering then if there's multiple doors, like fore, aft, and side, down there, or what. But
Right. All answers will become available soon.
Yeah.
There's another shot of the
Yeah,
gibbon.
because I can't imagine this being the last they talk about it before launch. But then again, it's only like what, 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
762 heresy. 762.
AK-47 round. Yeah, I mean it's only a week away. I mean they could do a little bit more talking about it, but there's more interviews that Todd Howard has done that I haven't even seen. But after watching two, maybe three of them, it was pretty repetitive. So
I watched a couple. There was one he did with Michael Heim from IGN, and then he did one with a guy I can't remember. It starts with an M, like Mortissimo or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, I mean they kind of talked about similar things, but yeah, I enjoyed both. Both were about like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
So
on this one, you'll be wandering a Terran Armada base or maybe probably a base, and they come out of these pods. You'll notice he's pretty low level 12. So it sounds like, if you're a brand new player, you could potentially get into the Terran Armada stuff pretty early on before you do anything else in the game.
Yeah, they were saying that it was funny the way that they talked about this because they said, yeah, you're sneaking through an environment and you think you made it out safe until you hear the robot pods open, and then you know they're coming after you.
Yep.
Oh, I made it. Oh, shit. Here they come.
And here's just another angle of that huge structure. It almost looks like that thing could possibly take off. I don't know. It almost kind of.
And look at this rotating. Looks
that
like
would be really cool if it could.
Yeah, because those look like massive landing gear. I mean, wouldn't that be cool? You're not expecting that to happen, and then it does.
Let's go back and look at this one. Where this one?
Yeah, right there. Yeah. See.
Yeah,
yeah.
like
right?
those
You jump to it, and the whole thing
structures
just starts
on
to
the
lift off, and
outside.
you're like,
Yeah,
"Whoa!"
because that looks kind of like a giant grav drive in the middle,
Right
or
here,
a
Yeah.
reactor
Yeah.
on the bottom.
down here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on the others, like where those two little openings are on either side, right there on the uh, bottom right, or yeah. You can't see where my mouse is pointing, but
Right. I'm trying to put mine
yeah,
where you're saying.
you were talking about those diamond-shaped engines. That's kind of like what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a ship on a landing pad right next to it.
right. There's a landing
Oh,
pad
okay.
and then
Yeah.
a
So
spaceship right
those aren't
here.
engines. All right.
Yep. Yeah. That's probably that same ship they keep showing us. Yeah. Right. Oh, yep, right there. So this one
Sorry,
That's right.
Jared,
Yeah.
get it right. There we go.
Yeah. So this is when they explicitly were talking about how they have the ability to shut down grab jumping in a system, and you have to deal with that before you can leave the system. That's specifically this screenshot here. So
Okay.
pretty sweet.
It's amazing how a week ago this was all brand new, and we're looking at it now and piecing things together, and
Yeah.
really we got a good grasp of what's going on. Who knows? Maybe we have no clue, but there's a lot of you start putting things together and go, okay, it makes sense this way. This
This
is
Trackers Alliance.
and this is
So
a new version of the Mantis armor.
yeah, it looked definitely
Well,
Mantis like. So
This one
if
of
you have gotten the new Trackers Alliance quest, one of them is a Mantis quest. So, like,
yes,
you're technically the Mantis after doing that quest, right?
yes,
So,
and they
how are
said
there two?
I was watching a guy talk about it, and he was saying that if you have done the Mantis quest line and then you do this one, you have special dialogue as the Mantis to throw.
Nice.
So they've actually thought about
Yeah.
it. You can either do
I've
it as
been
Mantis, hiding yourself, or you haven't found the Mantis yet if you haven't done that quest line yet. So
okay.
yeah, they thought
I've
about
been working on them, but I haven't done that
it.
one
I've only
yet.
got
So
the
that's
first one
cool.
done. But I got a brand new player home. It's a giant full mansion home. It's pretty neat.
Really
Yep. It
nice.
was
Yeah, I've
Sugashi
been.
Uni,
Hmm.
something like that. The guy that I went after. So I've done the Vulture, and I've done the Skyjacker, and then I've done this Sugashi Uni guy. And I'm sorry if I don't speak Japanese.
Is
Or,
is that the
so,
one
sorry.
in Neon we're dealing with the Aurora drug ring?
What about it?
Is that quest where you're going after some drug lord in the
Yes,
Neon?
I've collected like 30 pieces of Aurora now.
Yeah, I
They're
was
like
trying to do that
bringing,
one and it
yeah.
crashed on me right when I was trying to
Oh,
leave the well after leaving that warehouse in the well.
yeah.
It kept
The problem
crashing
is
on me as
it's like a fentanyl crisis in New Atlantis. Somebody's bringing in
yeah,
tainted Aurora, and it's killing people. So you got to go figure
yeah,
out where is this tainted substance coming from, and
yeah.
that's the whole gig of that one.
Now
But
Yeah, I was trying to do that, and hopefully, I don't know if it's a me problem or if it needs an update, but yeah, I kept, there. You go into that warehouse in the well, and then you come out of it, and there's the people that are shooting up the place, and you go over to, you try to leave through that elevator, and it keeps crashing after I try leaving the well. I don't
the
know.
only problem I had was as I left the warehouse. I've completed that one. I didn't have any issues other than there's a thing that happens, and then you get into a firefight, and I think you're supposed to just kind of run away. But I
Yeah,
was trying to take out the thugs, the syndicate thugs, and I brought up my gun, and as soon as I pulled the trigger, a guard stepped in front of me, and I blasted the guard. Now I aggroed every guard in the well, and I'm like,
I actually shot some dude because it looked like he was rushing me, and apparently he wasn't an enemy. And Sarah got pissed and left.
yeah,
So
well, that's what got the wrong guy. Oops.
yeah, I didn't
There's
mean to murder somebody. I'm sorry.
now I'm curious with the trackers. Go back to that armor up there, one up. Um, when you beat a guy, do you get his armor? Because I haven't done any of
I,
the new Trackers Lance
I have a
quests yet.
mod for that.
Yeah, because that's a
Well,
lot better looking Mantis armor than
Oh,
what
that
what
silly
we were
looking
using.
yeah,
thing with the freaking tails hanging off the side of your hips. I didn't like that. I wouldn't. I just put it away.
Like, it's
Even though
got
it was
great
the best armor
effects,
I found.
but
At the time, it was the best armor I had. It just looked so.
Yeah, looks silly. Now, is that the armor you get as a reward, and so that's the player wearing that right now, or is the guy wearing it? Your target.
You get it is a reward.
Okay.
Now,
nice.
to your question goes, I don't know if this is player or NPC,
Okay.
but it is a reward. It's one of the rewards in the Trackers Alliance. And like I said,
That's
there's when you take out the drug ring, you get a player home, and it's a giant mansion that you get.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 5 different ones.
I'll have to try it again. I might have just ran into some weird bug, but maybe going through, like, I'm working on another one now, so maybe going back and trying it again will fix it.
I hope so, because it was, like I say, it's a cool player home. It's really well designed. It's giant.
I did do the Widow one, and that one was fun. But I've done the Widow like 3 times now.
I haven't done
had to do it twice, but
I thought
when we get off of here, that's probably where I'm going to spend the rest of my morning is playing through the new content that we got. So I'm excited.
That one screenshot of Agent Zero, go back one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Agent Zero. Yeah. Or Note 1.
Now, at first, I thought those were like trophies, like after you complete each one, but it looks like you can probably interact with that anytime and put whatever you want up there. Because I just realized that's just Crimson Fleet stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Going back to the Widow, though, I did notice, like, if you've gone through Shattered Space, you do get some unique dialogue options labeled The Way of the Serpent. Because the people who you're going after are like kind of like House of Rune zealots.
Okay.
So that was nice.
So is it better off that you've gone through? Because I got one character that's gone completely through Shattered Space and one that hasn't. Does it make that make a difference?
Well, because the guy who gets murdered, at the beginning of it, he was part of. I think he was a part of that group or whatever, because you do get the Way of the Serpent dialogue with his wife. So So I mean, it kind of gives you some extra dialogue, to kind of help you track these people, but. I mean, I guess it doesn't make much of a difference in the long run, because you still kind of go through the same path to get take them out. But, and there's a few different ways that it could play out, which is nice too. Because when you get to the very end, there's kind of a timer on one of the things.
Okay.
Which, if it runs out, it's a lot worse.
Go back. You missed one. Getting a little ahead. So we've talked, Jax, you and I, about the Ebside Striker quest line that you still haven't done. That's the armor you get from that, and you don't see it anywhere except for pretty much in that quest line. But in the new crew mod, one of the characters has
Kai wearing it.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, but you got it. Good job.
That helmet reminds me of the NCR Ranger helmet.
I was going to say that same thing. Yes, it looks like NCR Ranger helmet with the mask. It looks like he's got a hoodie over it, but you can see inside there.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent. So, welcome, new folks. Can't wait to be playing with you guys.
Yes.
Come be a part of our community, man. The Dark Star community is great.
And I don't know if you saw this, but Starfield actually reached the #1 top downloaded game for PlayStation 5, or it is currently the most downloaded game at the moment.
So they're for free downloads.
So they can download it, but they can't play it just yet.
Yep.
Not yet. Yeah, they're pre-ordering it. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that I don't recognize that creature. It kind of looked like a brontosaurus chasing after him.
I don't really see the face of it, but there are dino-like creatures that I've seen.
So in Galactic Harvest, there's a whole bunch of recipes that you can use to get different buffs and bonuses.
Mhm.
And some of them you need milk. And so you got to raise some animals and then use them like cows to milk them in order to make this product, right? It's pearl something or another. Um, I think these are the animals that you have to raise in these
Oh,
big,
okay.
and I've got like 4 of them in a barn that I go and I harvest the milk from them every once in a while so that I can make my stuff to give me extra experience points.
Just
But yeah,
make sure you get the female version.
right? Yeah.
Those aren't
Okay.
udders.
Oops. Sorry, sir.
Oh, so I took this screenshot because this is that incursion or interdiction structure being blowing up,
Oh, blow.
and as you're
Mhm.
taking off, so there might be kind of like a, cool guys just walk from explosions kind of moment.
Right, as you walking back to your ship.
Just
Yeah,
like,
cool. Wow. Did we miss anything?
is that the very last one?
That's the last photo.
Looks that
Dang.
way. Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm so stoked about this. This is, I
Oh my
mean,
god, yeah. Well, and
I
like
hope I'm not
they packed
overly hyped,
so
but
much
I mean,
into.
the Todd father told us himself. If you didn't like
Yeah.
Starfield, this may not be the one that brings you back. If you did like Starfield, we put a lot of stuff in there for you. It sure looks like they put a lot of stuff in there for me. So,
Well, and yeah, he also talked about how much he listens to our feedback, and you can definitely tell just with all the stuff that's in Free Lanes,
mhm.
all the quality of life stuff that's being included in that. So it is really cool to see, and yeah, like Free Lanes is essentially like its own DLC. It seems like a small DLC, but it might as well be.
Yeah.
Um, and we're getting it for free, so.
Yeah. Go ahead and cancel your screen share there, Jax. But
What is that? Yeah, let's just stop that. Stop.
yeah, like you're saying, Sully, or the amount of quality of life improvements that they have, and in just the free part of it, the free lanes, is huge for the game, and
And it sure it leaves me hopeful that some of the things that we have discussed that we want could still be on the horizon,
yeah,
right? Schematics for bases. If I can very easily see them do a outpost DLC, right? Where
Oh, I
they
hope
just focus on
yeah.
giving you additional outpost stuff, reason to be there, ways to on habitable planets to have gardens and stuff like that.
mhm,
And then
Well, it's
they
like
say,
we
oh,
had
and
that
we
with
add schematics so that you
yeah.
can, when you're building your outpost, you can take a schematic of it, click, and then when you get to your next outpost, on schematic, click, and boop, if you've got all the materials, you can build it out, which would be one step away from having schematics for spaceships.
mhm.
Yeah. I mean, we had a DLC like that with Skyrim. We had a DLC like that with Fallout 4. Hopefully, I mean, yeah, I would hope so.
Right.
That we'll get some sort of
They promised
ramp
this is
up.
not the end. We're still working on this game. And I think they're using this game a lot as a test bed for technology that they're going to be using in Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6. They're
Oh
using us
yeah.
as guinea pigs,
Well,
which is great. I'm being a guinea pig with this kind of stuff. If it don't work, we can scream a little bit and move on. That's it.
Well, no, I see so many people like they'll post like, oh, they really should have skipped Starfield and gone straight to Fallout 5. I'm like, you don't really understand how this works, do you? Because
Right.
number one, God forbid they try something different rather than just okay, we're gonna go with Elder Scrolls then Fallout, Elder Scrolls then Fallout.
yeah,
But yeah, again, like everything, like if you look at the history of everything that they've done, like each game they try something new, even if it's the same IP. Like with Skyrim was the first time we had buildable player homes,
Yep.
and they expanded on that with Fallout 4 with the settlements, and
Mhm.
then we got camp building with Fallout 76, among other things.
Right.
Like, and now we've got Starfield, and they've done so many new things with this game that I'm sure they're going to bring into Elder Scrolls 6. Like, people
Well,
keep talking about how we'll be able to build our own like sailboat ships, like or like
yep.
water
Mhm.
ships, and
Mhm.
it wouldn't surprise me because if the rumors I'm hearing are true, part of it is going to be in like the Iliac Bay region at
Right
least. So
between Hammerfell and
and
what's above it,
High
High
Rock.
Rock,
High Rock.
yeah.
Yeah, and so you'll have that whole Ocean Bay area to traverse, and yeah, so you'll have
Whether or
ships.
not that's true, who knows? Because again, we've only seen that one little like mountain range, which apparently we're supposed to forget about. But
Yeah, that did.
Which that might not even be the game. They just maybe rendered that
yeah,
real
no,
quick.
they weren't even in pre-production at that
Yeah.
point. So
Now, you're making an excellent point, Sawyer, on how the player home system has just every game they've come out with has gotten better and better from where in
mhm.
Skyrim there's 3 different locations, these buildings you can build, and the only customization is you can have each of the sides of the
You
house
can
had
make
a
it a
different.
storage tower
Mhm.
or just like a
Mhm.
closet, or
Yeah,
there's the weapon room or trophy room, or
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
But now we can put an outpost on any planet, anywhere we want, build it out exactly like we want. Now, obviously, there's
I yeah, I'm like I enjoy Outposts, but I don't really care for the modular aspect of how they did it
yeah.
compared to like camp building or ship building. But that's why I focus so much more on ships than
Yeah.
outposts. But
Well, it stands to reason that obviously, if you're on an uninhabitable planet and you want to build an outpost, you need those
yeah,
done habs, but they should have the
yeah,
walls and all that and the floors and the ceilings and the foundations like they have in 76. They should have that in Starfield, where if you are on a breathable planet, you're fine. Um,
Mhm.
but if we are
and
thinking
again,
about,
there is a reason for it because that's how you get your resources to where you can do
Mhm.
like ship or not ship, but a spacesuit and weapon mods and stuff
Yeah,
like that, which I still haven't really gotten into. But
All of this stuff, though, just reinforces the fact that this game has plenty of room to breathe and grow.
yeah,
mhm,
It's not broken the way it is, but there's things, quality of life things, and improvements to systems that can be easily made. I don't know about easily, but
mhm.
yeah,
that would be greatly appreciated. And if they improve the outposting stuff and make it like we were saying before, turn that into a DLC, outpost revised, whatever,
Yeah.
something, whatever. But that could be a whole DLC.
Mhm.
They've done that
yeah.
kind of stuff before. I loved in Fallout 4, there was the one DLC that gave you the um like the conveyor belts and the ammunition builders, and
Wasteland Workshop.
yes, that was
Yeah,
one of my favorite ones because I built out this whole um like Rube Goldberg kind of esque ammunition supply building at the Starlight drive-in. I built a huge warehouse,
mm,
and then I had the conveyor belts going all which way, and having raw materials get dropped in and pushed over into the main conveyor belt that they would all go to the right feeder, and then I would have like 4 different ammunitions being produced at once, and they would all come out at another conveyor belt way down on the other end. I love that. I love that kind of stuff. Just tinkering around, playing
yeah.
with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. My hope for if we are thinking ahead to Elder Scrolls 6 is that they build whatever province it happens to be set in. I'm hoping for Hammerfell personally, but yeah, have your classic, well detailed, intentionally built, creatively, all the creativity into a set, huge map. But you get into your ship that you custom build, and whether or not you actually navigate it around or it's just a stationary set piece and you have loading screens, who knows? But get in your ship, and now you get to go explore the oceans, and it procedurally generates new small islands for you as you're sailing around the
Oh,
ocean.
that'd be cool. Yeah,
Because once you've just explored every dungeon and cave and location in your primary map, I mean, at that point, what's there to do? Sure, you can still wander around and come across people all the times, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's projecting forward. That's it's probably only a short 10 years away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
I'm saying
I'm hearing my kiddo. I think she woke up. So.
no. All right.
But yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's going to be maybe into next year. I think before we see Elder Scrolls 6 at soonest. And if it's
Not that
another
I've been
2 or
waiting for 11 years. That's not that far.
yeah, if
15
it's another 2 or 3 years, I'm not in any particular
Right.
rush. I mean, I've still got at least probably another year solid in this game, and that's assuming they don't put any more new content out, which they're probably going to put more new content out, which means I'm gonna get
Yeah,
a lot more out of this game for the next couple years.
right. Even as
So
expensive as gaming has become,
yeah,
games, each individual game, if you get 500 hours of entertainment out of a game and you divide that by the cost you've sunk into it, it's pretty cheap entertainment.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Your dollar per hour ratio, right? I've put hundreds of hours into Starfield, and I paid for the premium edition, which it was it $100? I can't remember. No, I don't think it was 100. I think it was maybe 80 or 90. So
I
yeah,
think it was
I mean 50
80
cent
now.
50 cents an hour. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got close to 1,000 hours, and probably shouldn't brag about that, but
That's
you
pretty
know,
that's pretty cost
my
effective
kids are
entertainment.
going out of town, so it's just me and the wife. I can spend my spare time doing what I want.
Yep. But see, that's why I love Bethesda games. Sure, like there's some other great games out there that I see, and back when I was single, I probably would have bought them. But aside from just having fun, kind of looking at the videos of the games, I'm like, I'm just not going to get it because I know my dollar per hour ratio of entertainment is going to be way high on it because I'm not going to play it nearly as much as I do a Bethesda game.
Hmm. I'm looking at this Crimson Desert game.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about that in the ASA Discord. It looks
I've been
great.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks amazing. I did see one article doing the whole negativity thing, saying there was some
I've heard
players
the
quit
control
it
takes some
because
getting
there
used
was
to, but
all the controls. Is there like a pairing mechanic
yeah,
or timing mechanic or something?
yeah.
That's the one thing
It
that
will,
scares me about it is that what I've heard about the controller mapping is just
yeah,
completely
and you can't,
non-intuitive. So
yeah, and you can't remap it yet. So
that's okay.
I
That
the
will come, I'm
yeah,
sure.
I
By the time it goes on sale to a point where I'm willing to buy it, that will probably be fixed.
yeah, this one
yeah.
article I read said that supposedly a lot of players quit because the first puzzle they came across was too hard or something. I'm like, sounds a
That
bit.
sounds like a them problem.
That's
Yeah.
right. That doesn't sound like the type of person that puts 1,000 hours into Starfield, does it?
Nope.
Yeah. Apparently, these people haven't played games like Morrowind.
Yeah.
Right?
So, all right. Well, I got to wrap it up. My munchkin is up and at 'em, and I only got 4 hours of sleep, and here she comes. Dun dun dun. Oh, well.
Walking down
All
the
right, guys.
street.
Well, as
Yes,
always,
so
again,
I am just
Solior. Thank you for joining us, and
absolutely.
always have
Yeah,
fun
thanks for
having you.
having me.
Well,
Yeah,
You got
I'm
invitation.
really looking forward to
You'd
this, and
love.
I've been enjoying the Trackers Alliance stuff that we've gotten, and I just can't wait for this. Can't wait to
yeah, yeah. We'll
experience
definitely
it
have
all.
to get you back on the show in another couple months after we've all
Yeah,
really lived in this new content for a while and kind of do a post mortem. So,
absolutely. So I look forward to hearing how you guys wrap up the Vanguard
yeah.
stuff too. So
Well, this kind of worked out in a bit in our favor because
yeah,
we were going to do that today with you, part 3, the finale. But we're
Mhm.
gonna in 2 weeks we're gonna have Sweet Pea on, which works out really well for
Nice.
multiple reasons. Because one, with her decoration mods, I don't want to spoil too much on the Vanguard quest line, even though the game's 2 years old. But there's a reason why having a decorative mod might be useful with the way that quest line plays out, right? So,
Well, you mentioned somebody who said that they thought it was like the main quest. I did too. Like I was like, wait a minute, that's not the main.
yeah,
I thought did I just That's not the main quest.
Yeah. Well, my friend, he knew it was not the main quest, but he was so intrigued by it that he was like, "Yeah, this definitely sounds like the main quest to me." So, but yeah, so Sweet Pea will be on in a couple weeks, and we'll talk. We'll talk about some of her new mod stuff. We'll get into tailored spaces for obvious reasons, and yeah, so. Oh my goodness,
Cool.
she is really going bananas in there. So I don't know. Can you guys hear that?
It's a little bit, but
Okay.
I'm
My goodness.
my dog's clacking of my dog's toenails walking around the house.
Alrighty, well, folks, thank you for tuning in. This has probably been one of our longer episodes, but tons of new content to be excited for. So take care, folks.
Absolutely.
We will see you in the Starfield.
Fight fast. Take lots of chances, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Now that was some fine work under pressure.
Get out of here, Dusty. You're on to bigger things.